Welcome to NXTGame.com, the fastest growing online betting website for your items. Get on top of the action by betting on your favorite teams. Which team will get the first blood, or which team will get the first Roshan kill? Get fast and up-to-date results with our matches. This is the next level of betting.
And we're back here for game number 2 in the best of 3 series. Team 1-2-3 versus MSI.EVO GT here in the next game, Invitational. My name is Heflamoke, casting it with Danelie cast, and well, game 1 was a surprise, to be honest. The ending was a very much surprising to me, because it didn't have to be the ending right there. I think with the Bounty Hunter and a good fight, they had all chances in the world to actually make a good fight, come back on it, but Yamate was chasing a Storm Spirit, got the kill, but in the 4-4 situation of defending the base, they just broke the racks, and seeing that, they already gave up on it. I think it was a bit too early, but maybe they also just said, like, guys, I think this game is over, let's go into game number 2, because there we have better chances. Maybe we see some more CC heavy drafting right now.
Yeah, I actually think it's just they knew they had nothing to take out the PL with reasonable effort. If they were going to commit to killing a PL, they'll pretty much have nothing left in the gas for the rest of the team. So I feel like it was actually the right decision by 1-2-3 to just pull out of that game. I don't think they had any chance to come back. Even with their Ember Spirit, I don't think they would have had enough to actually keep that game going. So they're going to start off fresh. And we're going to start with some fresh new drafts. No bounty this time. There is a respect ban from 1-2-3. They've had enough of that hero. It did not work for them last time, so they're not going to give it to MSI because they know how annoying it can be. Whereas MSI, they get rid of Gyro and Leshrac. So pretty standard stuff, nothing out of the ordinary. 1-2-3, they're going to pick up the Lina as their first pick. I don't think I've actually seen first pick Lina for a while.
Oh, we had a second pick last game, and the cores pretty much are the same available like last game. Only difference is at the moment we have no Clockwork and Tuskband. Instead we have the Undying and Bounty Hunter. On the other side, the core bands are the same by MSI.EVO GT. So at the moment the teams are pretty much just trading forth and back what they drafted or banned last game. That means we have a Storm Spirit, we have a Shadow Fiend available at this point. Then of course they can also secure the roaming heroes they want to. A Tusk might be very likely to come out for either team. To be honest, right now the synergy would be there with Lina. Last time we had cast with the Fissure plus the Lightstrike Array. It would also work for a Tusk, of course.
So I would actually be looking at the Tusk because he was popular at TI, and a lot of teams are trying to adapt the Tusk into the draft, into the meta. So they can do it if they want to. Earthshaker and Winter Women, they're going to be the pickups for MSI, so they already secure what could be their potential supporting duo. Winter Women and Earthshaker did them a lot of justice last game, and there's no issues picking it up this game.
To be honest, I was not happy with the Winter Violence performance. Like, he did some strange moves in some of the fights. He was holding back on his spells because he wanted to land like the golden spells in the perfect time, but mostly he died before he could actually get them off. And a Winter Wyvern that uses 1 out of 4 spells in a 5-on-5 onslaught, that is very strange. But overall it doesn't really matter because his team picked up where he let it drop a tiny bit. Cast, however, he was really on the spot with all the ganks and everything. We see that he's one of the more experienced players in this team. So he had a nice synergy with Lina. That worked out, yeah.
So now that they picked up their supporting duo, they're not really giving anything away to 1-2-3, whereas you look at 1-2-3's draft. You pick up a Clockwork, you can't put him mid, and you definitely can't put him as a carry, so he's obviously going to be in that off-lane role. He's a great offlaner though. It means that if MSI decide to draft any heroes that like to sit in the back lines, just be ready because there could be a hookshot coming your way. So this might have to alter MSI's plans with what kind of heroes they want to go for. But Clockwork and Lina, I love the synergy. You said it before. These two heroes, they have a lot of killing potential together. Just have these two roaming around and you could pretty much just zap anyone from 100 to 0. Now the bans say 1, 2, 3, they're going to get rid of the Shadow Fiend as well as the PL. Again, they don't want to deal with the Phantom Lancer and that's absolutely fine because MSI dominated them last game with the PL. But the Shadow Fiend band, he's still currently a popular pick in the meta, so there's no problem. I actually think Shadow Fiend wouldn't be that bad, but I don't think he would have been that good either, considering the heroes we currently have. MSI, they get rid of a Shadow Demon? I don't think I've ever seen this hero ever.
No, but that's the funny part. A lot of teams ban him because whatever they draft would be very vulnerable to the hero. So sometimes it comes out, and every time it comes out, it actually has a nice percentage, even though it's not very present in the meta. We have that in the European meta as well. So it's kind of good to see that we have something similar going on for the Southeast Asian scene. That now 123 is going for the core bans is very interesting because they say, okay, MSI, they ban 2 cores themselves, pick 2 supports, and we just ban out everything else they can. That the PL is higher priority than the Queen of Pain. Don't really understand it. If 123 wants to go for a magic core, a dual magic core, would still be an option. They could also go for a Storm Spirit plus a physical carry and put Elena in a support role, but now with that Rubik pick, that's, yeah, off the table already.
They still could put the Lina in a supporting role if they want to, but I feel like this is going to be a mid Lina. They're probably going to give Yamate the Lina. I have seen him play the hero a couple of times and he is pretty comfortable on it, but I want to see a Yamate hero. I want to see, there's no Shadow Fiend, so that's going to be upsetting, but he plays Storm Spirit, he plays TA. I don't think TA would be too bad, because you look at MSI and they've got a lot of damage. They don't actually have too many damage over time spells, so I think TA would be okay. Probably you have to be a 5th pick though. Unless they can see what MSI picks up 4th and they have to say they're going to be comfortable with the TA pick, but I think they'll just keep it open. It could be a Lina for Yamate for all we know. But wow, MSI really going through the reserve time for their 4th pick.
Yeah, it's a very important pick, to be honest. I actually think the PL was something they had in their, like, on their mind, something they really wanted to go for. But that's why they think about it. As I said, the TI is striking even a Southeast Asian scene, so the Luna is finding back in the meta on a TI. Some teams prove that they can do it. To be honest, based on the last 3 games we had, yesterday the 2 and today this one, I don't think there is enough protection for Lina in the playstyle of these teams, but we have to see if they get it through. Lina, very, very susceptible. Clockwork can pretty much own her alone. Rubik, Lightstrike Array combination, not to mention even Laguna Plate. These are all things that can obliterate Luna, so we will see something similar coming out, like the Phantom Lancer going for 1 or 2 stats items, Aquila drums into whatever else you want to go for. Eventually, she also needs a BKB in this game. That is definitely something she has to work around. But MSI, if they get it through, then we have some nice bouncing action coming through with the Claves, and that will be a big deal for 123 here.
Yeah, it really feels like a BKB first Luna game. It really does. Because there's a lot of spells that Luna wants to avoid, but she knows that she's going to be getting it her way. I guess you still have the Cold Embrace for any physical damage, but it's a Lina. And Lina rips through Luna, so this feels like it's definitely going to be a BKB game first for MSI. The Luna actually gives them a lot of pushing potential, so if they decide to just roll up as 5 heroes and go for a push down one of the towers, they're going to be able to chop through it really quickly. Team 123, though, they want to go for the late game. They're going to go for their own anti-mage, so I think we're going to be going into a late game this game. Anti-mage versus Luna. Anti-mage farms significantly faster than the Luna, though, once he gets his Battle Fury. And that's something MSI has to be very careful about.
To be honest, yeah, the speed, of course, on an anti-mage is a bit faster. However, Luna is also perfect for early pushing. Just 1 point in the glaze, for example, is already like speeding up your push really fast. Other than that, none of the teams actually have something there that is good for pushing. Only the Lina is like the highest potential there if she can keep up a Fierce Soul stack up. That being said, I'm not so sure who actually would win this late game. If I just look at the full heroes drafted right now, there's a lot of potential for both of them. They have two very nice utility heroes. They have two magical cores, which also have piercing potential. Then the anti-mage versus the Luna. I'm not so sure who actually wins the entire thing. And just to make sure there's not like some tri-core attempt coming out, they go for a Storm Spirit ban, just in case that Lina was a fake mid Lina. But no, I think they actually do go for it.
I feel like this has to be a mid Lina. Because if this is supposed to be the supporting duo, they're very squishy. They're very squishy if it's supposed to be just the two supports as this.
The Storm could have been an option. I mean, that's what I tried to say. The Storm would have been an option to push the Lina into a support option, which would have been totally fine if you have the Storm as a replacement. But the Storm ban, that's not an option anymore. MSI was lacking an offliner. There it goes. And I definitely like what they did. I think the Brood should have been and would have been banned on both sides, because the Brood Mother, for example, on 1-3 side, would have been an option if there wasn't a Clockwork, but a Brood Mother could have bought so much time that they have to shift attention away from the Luna protection, and that would have opened for 1-3 like the onslaught on the Luna. That's not an option anymore either way. So I definitely like what they draft and ban at the very end. Just curious what else is coming here right now for 1-3.
Yeah. But also the Darkseer pick really pushing them off some other options. Ancient Apparition could be the final pickup for 1-2-3, and this Ancient Apparition is definitely going to help out the Lina in the magical damage department, especially with the Cold Feet, is it? Or was it the Ice Vortex? Ice Vortex is a beautiful spell to combo up with the Lina because it's extra magical burst, and any sort of damage amplification for Yamate is going to be useful, especially for some of the tankier heroes. But we are in the game, and this is going to be our second game out of this best of 3 series. MSI taking the first game quite handily. 1-2-3 just didn't really have a chance to come back, but 1-2-3, is this their chance to shine? They're running an anti-mage. Let's introduce them really quickly. So I'll do 1-2-3 since you did them last game. There's 3-4-3 that's going to be playing on our Rubik. On the anti-mage, we have Ben. Down towards the Rune Tower. Down towards the Ward Tower, we have Minerva on the Ancient Apparition. On the hill, Yamate is waiting for the bouncy rune. And lastly, we have someone in a very precarious situation, Kang, who's going to be handling our Clockwork, and looks like he'll be safe.
On the other side, we have Cast again on the Earthshaker, having already like a decent game 1. We have to see if he has pretty much the same performance in game 2. Boombach on the Winter Wyvern. We have Raven playing the Luna. Big question mark above that Luna. We have to see if they can punch it through. DJ on the Queen of Pain going into the mid lane, and we have Rio on the Darkseer. He will, I think, have a decent time in the offlane, especially since it's melee versus Iron Shell, so that should just do the trick. We have no Bounty Rune clash whatsoever. It's a 50-50 split, so nothing's going on.
But it's still going to be a Rubik. They'll be pushing out the Darkseer for the lane, so he still has to be careful. He can still die in this tri-lane. Because remember, you're up against an Ancient Apparition who has Chilling Touch, and you have 3 heroes. So if he can survive the initial burst or the initial gank, then Rio should be okay once he finally gets that Soul Ring. So we'll see if he can actually get that Soul Ring as soon as possible. Otherwise, he might be in for a bit of a struggle and have to rotate into the jungle a little earlier than he likes.
They won't gank him before level 2, I think it is, because I think they need the additional, because right now, for example, they have the Chilling Touch already used. It's more or less just for harass damage, and they're gonna get like all the stacks in. I think Ancient Apparition has 1 left, and you see the power behind it. The Darkseer already way below 50% HP. As I said, if this was level 2, this is pretty much a safe kill. The Telekinesis and the Anti-Mage also hitting there with the Chilling Touch, that should just do the trick. You're completely right on this one. So the Darkseer has to be really careful. Just send the Iron Shells into the lane and do the best with it.
He might just have to rotate into the jungle, because he's getting absolutely nothing in this top lane. And I feel like if he stays here any longer, he's effectively wasting his time getting nothing. Yes, he's throwing a couple of Iron Shells, but it's not hurting the anti-mage. It's not even bullying the supports. It's not doing anything. So So the way that Ben's playing it, he's just killing the creeps with the Ion Shell and that's it. So what can Rio really do up here?
Not much, to be honest. Like, experience-wise, he will be very much behind, but look at the Ancient Apparition. If the Rurik was still around, they could have gotten here for this kill. Rio has to go pretty much through all his tangos here just to get back to full HP. At this point, there's even the question mark if he should not just go back to the fountain and buy a TP to go back. But even with a TP back, you're not gonna find much in this line. There's also no blocking going on. The camp is there if the Ancient Apparition or the Rubik wants to go for some pulling. At the moment, the Rubik is just busy stacking for the Lina, that is.
So MSI know that their Darkseer is struggling. I feel like the support should actually pull some of the jungle camps. I think they have. They've actually got one, but it's actually for the pull camp, which is it's been blocked. So if the Darkseer wants to, he can go for that stack. Go for the jungle stack there if he wants to. Kang receiving a significant amount of harassment actually from boombacks, but the Clockwork is doing a lot better than the Darkseer. It's only up against a dual lane. It's not as strong as an Ancient Apparition with Chilling Touch, so he's doing much better. And this is something that MSI has to deal with eventually. You can't just leave the Clockwork there. He's going to hit level 6 much sooner than Rio, and he's going to be going around throwing hook shots and just pretty much setting up the kills for 1, 2, 3. So how does MSI want to deal with him? Are they going to gank him? Are they just going to leave him? Do they want to try and dominate the other lanes? Because for the moment,
Darkseer will go in the jungle eventually. If it's either the support's rotating out of the lane and he can actually go against the anti-mage, or it will pretty much him being just going somewhere. But oh, what is this? Telekinesis here? There should be no light strike array. There's no light strike array. He didn't go for the 1-1 build, but it's not even needed. They get the first blood. Like, that Fate Ball by the Rubik actually did the trick. I was so surprised Selena doesn't have it. I thought she's either level 4 already or put a 1-1 into it. Aggressive play here by the Queen of Pain, but not really going for it in the end. Well, big surprise. The Clockwork, however, being pushed now to the point where he has to use the salve. The Winter Wyvern super aggressive, but also he has to be careful, like, because he dove deep into that tower for it.
Yeah, but Kang's level 4, and Ryu is still in this top lane. He has to go to the jungle. He's not getting anything done here. I'm really surprised that he's still hanging around. He's still level 1. And it's 4 minutes into the game. I love how 1, 2, 3 is just being so disciplined about keeping the Darkseer out of the lane. They really want Ben to farm. And I feel like this is going to be their redemption game. If they can play it crisp, which they're doing pretty well so far, they should be able to take down MSI, even though they have some pretty scary heroes. Because they have the tools for it.
Yeah, I think so too. The Clockwork, well, he didn't go for a bottle build in his offline, even though I think he could have, for some more spam, but it's not really happening. So at this point, everything is just fine for him, as in getting experience, for making a play, and potentially also getting a kill of a Luna that he catches out, like, alone or anything. That would definitely just do the trick. The Winter Wyvern healing up the Luna on a regular basis, that, yeah, just keeps her in the line. And he also doesn't go anywhere. Cast is not stacking up anything. Well, he has a double stack here on the big one. That's good. That's potentially for the Darkseer. But we have nothing else really stacked up except for, like, the 2 big camps. The central jungle camp as well as the big mid camp. That's it. Everything we have. And we have to see if that's even for the Darkseer or not. He's still struggling to even get a Soul Ring. Still level 1. Half a level into it. That's really, really sad.
Yeah, the only reason he got that little bit of extra EXP was because Minerva was killing the side camp and the creep actually went back to the camp. Lina getting a kill onto the Queen of Pain. Was that with the Laguna? That was
Yes,
a fresh level 6 Yamate.
I mean, I just saw the Queen of Pain blinking, like, behind the tower, and everything looked fine, but they went for it. But also going for it is Kang, for example, here under attack. He still has cogs. He could buy some time, but those cogs are not really helping him. They're just standing on the other side and waiting for it. The Luna even claiming that last hit just there with the lunar beam, lucent beam, lunar beam. Well, it could actually also be lunar beam, right?
It could. It sounds similar, so there's no issues with it. So Rio's finally made the decision to go into the jungle. I'm much happier about this. Staying in lane wasn't getting him anything, so all of a sudden he's cleared out almost the whole stack, and he's already level 3. He should hit level 4 with these last bit of big creeps once they do actually get killed off. So almost there. very close. He's going to go for a couple of punches, and looks like he does finally hit level 4. So that's some nice comeback there for Rio on the Darkseer. This is the advantage of running a Darkseer. If he gets
Oh, look
nothing
at
in lane,
Kang,
then
he's
he
in
can
trouble
jump.
again. There's
Okay.
still some right clicks coming through by the Winter Wyvern, but oh, he's getting pushed back by the Cox and now also under attack by the tower. It's not enough for a kill, but he just came back to the tower and he's pretty much at a state where he has to pretty much go back to the fountain again. So this was just a 5-second lane presence and back to the fountain it is.
It's unfortunate. I think he almost commits suicide actually with the way he positioned the cogs. You saw it. He had to kill 2 cogs to get out of there. He thought he only had to take 1 out, but then he realized, oh crap, I'm actually still stuck. So a bit of a panic there for the Clockwork, but he's very lucky he actually managed to get out of there unscathed. I actually thought he was going to die, honestly.
With
He
Delina
was very
cleaning out some stacks here in the jungle, the Rubik actually gets a nice chance to do something. Let's say it like this, but oh, there's a nice fish of the ultimate being used, but the Queen of Pain has to pay for that Rubik kill. She was hiding, that was perfectly done. Yamate hiding here. It's nighttime, so he went slowly when they went on the Rubik. So that's a trade you don't want to go for. Absolutely not. 3rd death on that Queen of Pain. Really, really bad.
It's DJ though. He was probably expecting that play by the Queen of Pain. You see a support and you just have to think, oh god, tasty gold, please give me. And Yamate says, I'm waiting. He just waits and he actually gets what he wants. So that was good stuff there for Yamate, being very patient, and he gets his kill. So Rio back in the top lane though.
Yeah, he's in the top line now. With that level, he should be just fine. Actually, Ben is a bit struggling against the Iron Shells and also tanked up a bit on neutral creeps. But oh, what's happening here? The Luna trying to get her ultimate out. And yes, look at Kang getting a lot of damage. But there's not enough mana, nor actually the freedom to just go for anything like a Lucent Beam. Oh, ultimate by the Anti-Mage on the Darkseer. Also not finding a kill. So both offliners here really in deep trouble. But both of them survive. However, Kang, I think he's kind of used to the fact already that he just has, yeah, some seconds uptime, then he goes back to the fountain. Also in the mid, Heal Scepter, Light Strike Array, and is it this time enough? There is a blink, and oh, it's super low HP, bottle as well as salve. The Lina for the 4th death on the Queen of Pain was not enough.
That was so close. DJ is probably praying on his lucky stars that he managed to get out of there safely, but Yamate, if he got another kill onto DJ, that Queen of Pain would have pretty much struggled for the majority of the early game. Dying 4 times now is something you do not want happening as a Queen of Pain. And the fact that he's died so many times as well, you look at DJ's items, it's really hurt him. He's just getting his power treads right now. And you would expect a lot more in a Queen of Pain at this point. So he's going to be clearing out the stack, which I thought would have been for the Luna, but it looks like it's just going to be for DJ instead. So I think he feels that he needs to come back gold, considering how many times he's died.
Yeah, that's actually kind of good. Like, I already showed these 2 stacks earlier, and it's the right thing to do, to have at this point, because you can really bring those people back that had a bad laning stage, and that is namely the Darkseer, as well as the Queen of Pain. I mean, the scores at the moment really look bad on her. She got that 1 kill on the Rubik, but everything else is a 1-3-0 score at the moment, and that's just not the way you want to have your Queen of Pain working out, especially not against Selena, because usually, yes, Selena is spamming everything, but he did not lose on default. He really got baited into certain things. However, bottom there's a smoke.
Scouted. It was scouted. There was an observer ward. They know this is coming.
Oh, but it doesn't matter.
Connecting. That's a dead Luna.
Right there, and there's
MSI
even more to follow, because there's the Yule Scepter and an easy going for them. Like, it was scouted, it was spotted, but yeah, if you don't go back in time, you still fall victim to it.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the Luna. She has a wonderful ultimate in Eclipse. It's a really good team fight spell. If you ever get initiated on, pop the Eclipse and hope that you actually can do some damage with it. But it's got a massively long cooldown, so because the Clockwork actually used his hookshot previously to jump onto her, she already used the spell. So that was a much easier kill there for 1, 2, 3. And I'm actually surprised that MSI didn't bring any heroes in to help, because they should have seen it coming. I'm not too sure if they just didn't have TPs, or maybe they thought that they would have been fine. I'm not too sure, but it cost them a Luna, and they cannot afford to be losing that Luna, because this anti-mage is actually getting a lot of farm. He's sitting at 1.1k gold, he's already got 1 piece for his Battle Fury, or is he actually going for Battle Fury, because he has a ring of regen? I think this is just to help him survive through the Ion Shield damage.
Well, yeah, he went for the HPS build right there, just because he had all the Iron Shells to work with. First, he just had the normal Ring of Health, and now, of course, he's going for a Ring of Regen as well, because he will go into Vladimir's, and therefore, he's just combining the later pieces of items into additional regeneration. I think it's an okayish choice. I mean, Rio is not even there anymore. He cleared out another stack here in the jungle just to catch up. He's level 7 by now. Caught up in the levels still. Farm-wise, he's, yeah, not on a good way. But he's doing now, and that's the funny part, he's now doing pretty much the same as Kang in the offlane as a Clockwork. So the Clockwork had a decent laning, but eventually the net worth is pretty much the same on the offlane. So nice catching up for MSI on the offlane. However, mid, the Queen of Pain still not the right thing. And I don't know if you saw it, in the mid they also wasted a observer ward directly on top of a sentry, so that's also not working out, which means Cast, for example, doesn't get anything to do in the mid.
So it looks like they're going to go for another smoke rotation. This time it's with the Rubik, the Clockwork, and the Lina, and they're going to be running into a Luna. Raven actually notices this is coming. Yamate, Yule's going to keep himself alive for that little bit longer. Kang, super tanky, and the Laguna Blade going to finish up that Laguna
Just
Blade.
not working out.
Wow.
Just not working out. I said it in the draft, the Luna has to be protected at all costs. She can't go alone, she cannot be left alone in the lane. Like, even jungling without any vision that would protect you or anything like that, just not working out. So, I mean, this time, of course it was a smoke gank. Nothing could have prevented that unless you really see the smoke coming out. But yeah, the Luna starts to die more and more, and 1-2-3 does the right thing. I think they focus on the right target, but all Queen of Pain. What's happening here? Lightstrike Array is not actually coming out. More or less focusing on the entire thing, but is there ultimate now coming out? There is the Ice Blast flying, but completely off the mark. I'm very surprised the Queen of Pain did not go for that Lina. I think that would have been a kill.
He was probably expecting a Yule Scepter, but Yule Scepter's on cooldown. Going to go for a screen, but that's not going to connect. DJ, you have overextended, unfortunately, and you are going to die as well. So that is another death onto DJ. He's now up to 4 deaths. Yamate, living the life on the edge. I was actually surprised as well that he didn't use the Sonic Wave to finish up the Lina.
Well, I mean, the Lina is quite tanky here at this point. So I think he thought it's not enough, but she used everything already. She used Yule, she used Lightstrike Array, and I thought even with right clicks she could have gotten it, but then the hesitation on DJ cost him his life in the end. Like, even that nice little, I don't know, I hide behind a tree and then kill you on the way back to the base, that didn't really work out. So for him, just not his game at the moment. Kang finds a nice deny here on the tower as well, so even less gold for MSI. It's just not going their way at the moment, and while all this is happening, there's still the impending doom of anti-mage free farming.
You could really see the way that DJ is playing on the Queen of Pain. He's struggling, and he also hesitates because last game we watched a Storm Spirit. He was so confident because he had a decent start, he had some decent items, and he had his team behind him the whole way. Whereas this game, does it feel that MSI just kind of crumbling? Because 1-2-3, they're playing perfect. They're finding every kill. They're always there with their heroes if anyone's in trouble. And the Lina just absolutely dominated DJ. Do you think it's impacted his play? Rio up in the top lane, just going to get decimated by 3 heroes.
Yeah, easy kill for them again. This was Chilling Touch, not even needed. Like, they had 4 stacks up, but they killed them already before. So this Darkseer, like, he caught up nicely, but whenever he shows up on lane, he's not getting much done. It was pretty much the same for the Clockwork. He was sent back to the fountain on a regular basis, but at least with the last 2 hook shots and initiations and smoke gangs, he found kills, and not just any kills. He found kills on the Luna. So he is in the direct comparison way more useful than the Clockwork at the moment. There has been a blink. Was that actually enemy blink? Did they see this? It's nighttime. Yes, I think they saw that smoke.
I actually don't know if they were paying attention down in that vicinity, but we'll have to see because we are going to see a lot of 1-2-3 heroes converging. Kang, he knows they're there. Winter's Curse onto 3-4-3, but oh my god, that beautiful hookshot by Kang. They didn't actually isolate Raven, and he's going to get blown up by the Lina. He's just going to be connecting onto 2 heroes, but where's the follow-up for MSI? Actually, I hear an anti-mage ulti. It did not connect on the Queen of Pain at all, though. But 1-for-1, a Luna for a Rubik. Big loss for MSI. They
would have
lose
done
their
nothing
carry.
anyway. Like, that ultimate bite no, that wasn't really the right thing to do. Yamate is coming in. There's the stun. It's just pretty much the opener for the anti-mage, and I don't even need it. Just the right clicks will be enough. If he would have surged out, that would have been the mana void and easy going. So they get another kill, and 1-2-3 also denying the tower. The Darks here tried to capitalize on the action that's going on in the mid, but overall this entire thing just felt really, really weird. Like the engagement there with the Luna, the Clockwork saw this ward here, scouted it out. So 1-2-3 wasn't surprised by this at all. They saw it coming, they reacted perfectly, everything was fine for them.
So MSI, they're in a really bad spot. The Queen of Pain's not doing well. DJ, his performance has been really impacted by this as well. Raven, their carry, is only going to be getting his BKB at probably 20 minutes. He's getting pretty close to it, just needs a recipe now. It's got 2 components. But with this BKB done, is this MSI's time to fight? Do they just keep fighting with the Lina BKB? Is it just the go time? Because it feels that they're in desperation mode where they're trying to find these kills. They're not finding them. And 1-2-3 is just playing wonderfully. They know it's coming. They have the vision. They have the disengage with Kang. Kang has always been in the fights, and being a Clockwork, you just hook in, go for the power cogs, and all of a sudden MSI's heroes are just broken up in the fights, and they can't even go around it because power cogs keeps bouncing them off.
Yep. There's also another factor coming back into this game. It's the Ice Blast. I mean, I haven't talked about it in the draft, but it's actually a big deal for MSI because everything they have. Oh my god, Queen of Pain. There should be still a blink, but the Yulsop actually interrupting it. What they need is the perfect channel, and yes, they're not gonna get it through. This is a godlike here on Lina, and the Ice Blast, which I tried to talk about, was just about to come in afterwards. This Ice Blast is also gonna be trouble because you cannot heal with the Winter Wyvern. After the Ice Blast, the lifesteal by the Luna will not do anything, and also the mech now built by the Darkseer will only have less impact. So this Ice Blast is gonna have sooner or later a big impact. The only thing I don't like, of course, is that he's going for the Midas. It's relatively late. He didn't really have the time with all the pulls top to get something, and he did not get any assist gold with the Ice Blast so far, except for mid. So he's a bit behind. I think 18 minutes for AA that has been super inactive, but also finding kills and everything. I think he should have had his Midas by now. I know this sounds very greedy, but he had really the chance. But I don't know how much support items he bought.
I haven't been watching the Ancient Apparition either, but once he does get it, that means that he's going to be getting more levels quicker, and just having those means that higher levels of Ice Blast, and each point makes a difference in the fights. It's 8 seconds now, it'll be 9 seconds soon, and then 10 seconds, and it's also going to speed up his farm for the Aghanims, and once that Aghanims is up, I don't know what MSI can do. If the Ancient Apparition actually gets to that point, I don't think MSI has a chance to really come back into the game unless 1-2-3 screws up horribly 2 to 3 times. I feel that is probably the absolute limit for MSI to come back into the game if 1-2-3 just screws up horribly. But I haven't seen that happen because they've been playing so safely, so carefully, and they always see these things coming.
We have also Orchid coming out on the Queen of Pain pretty much soon. It's a nice item to catch out the anti-mage. Problem is, of course, it has kind of a half-time because because yeah, the anti-mage will eventually go for Manta, so you can pretty much use it afterwards if you want. For the Lina will just survive it unless, of course, the Yule Scepter is earlier used. So I'm not really sure if this Orchid will really do what it's supposed to do in this game. I mean, the last game, that was an Orchid game. That was the perfect item for like 3 out of 5 heroes. But oh, they want to go here in the mid. There's the Winter's Curse on the anti-mage. They really need a lot of burst right now, but it's just not happening. It's just not enough. And now that being used, look at the Luna. Bursting damage, however, and now the Rakis are coming through. He gets the Rubik at least, but now he's really in trouble. He's going down, and also the anti-mage is going ham. They already lost 3, and maybe even more. The Queen of Pain blinking away. So that's not gonna happen. And also Cass should be just safe. He didn't even bother with anything. I think he was like, guys, man, this is a fight we should not take at all. He didn't contribute anything but 1 Fissure. And just, yeah, making it a 1-3 trade, which is the perfect call for 1-3 to go into Roshan.
The problem, I think, in the mid lane was the cast wasn't close enough to cast a Fissure after the Winter's Curse, so there was just not enough time for MSI to even attempt to kill the anti-mage. And 1-2-3, they were prepared, they were smoked up as well, and they were sitting at roughly this vicinity. I think they were preparing to go into the jungle, or maybe waiting for a Roshan attempt by MSI, but instead having the mid fight helped them more than the mid fight helped MSI. Now, also remember what MSI lost. They used a Luna, Eclipse, and a BKB, and the Luna still died. So your Luna has the item that she's supposed to have to team fight, and she still can't survive.
I'm not so sure if she actually has the items she's supposed to have, because after she died, she stopped the project drums, for example. She went directly into the BKB, just shows she's not so susceptible against like other things, but the problem is now she's lacking a lot of stats. I mean, you just saw like spell piercing, nobody cares about the BKB. You get her way below 50% right now with a Laguna plate alone. And from there on it's really just right legs, and these right legs, they really hurt. Like the Rubik and the Lina was absolutely enough there. By the way, also another tower being denied. I can't remember what happened to the bottom tower, but I think we have 2 denies out of 3 towers right now, which of course hurts MSI a lot more. Talking about that, we have a 5k, almost 6k now, the updated one lead for 1-3. It's a bit less than I expected. I thought it's a lot more because 9 kills ahead. Roshan, more towers. Well, actually, it's actually 1 tower less. They didn't get the top tower. I thought the anti-mage cleared that one already. Never mind that. So the only thing they lack to MSI is 1 tower, but everything else they should be ahead.
So now with this happening, both teams on the opposite side of the map. MSI again trying to go for another bait play. They've got everyone smoked in behind the Luna, but 1, 2, 3, they've got everyone else down towards the bottom lane, and they're going to grab their own tower. So if MSI can grab this top tower, it'll be an even trade, but the Ice Blast, it's already doing the work. It's really hurting Raven, and
they're way faster.
all of a sudden they have to. Yeah, they have to TP, and MSI, are they actually prepared to defend high ground?
The hookshot missed
really
here on the Winter Wyvern, and would have been an interesting initiation. I'm actually not sure they were ready for this initiation if that hookshot landed, but however, top, I think they're gonna go for yet another tower deny right there. So less gold. It's in the end a 2-for-2 tower trade with a tiny bit damage done on the tier 3 tower, and to be honest, I think Kang is happy that this hookshot never landed, because it would have been a horrible fight. So not much really changed on this map because it was a relatively even trade with yet again a tiny advantage for 1-3.
So now back to square one. 1, 2, 3, back on their side of the map, whereas MSI, they have a target in mind, and that's Ben the anti-mage, but do they have the lockdown for him? They're going to pursue him for a little bit and then just go into their jungle and realize, wait, he's farmed everything. So
the
they're just going to
Lina
have to wait for the next
picking up a new item. There's the Shadow Plate, and it could actually lead to something. If you find Cast alone, that's an easy kill. That poor guy has only Iron Branch, everything else is default HP. You can easily shred him to pieces as Lina at this point with a Laguna Plate, but nope, it's not really gonna happen. But Ben had kinda, to be honest, I was surprised he didn't have more farm for the fact that like the Darkseer was so bad on lane, but now of course it's getting faster and faster, and yes, the Manta is done. This Manta is what, 4 minutes after the Orchid comes out. So this Orchid of the Queen of Pain has no effect on the anti-mage anymore, if of course he has not used Manta before.
If he hasn't used Manta before. It should just be down the line. He doesn't have to pick it up so soon, but...
And talking about it, Lina. Oh, Queen of... Ouch. Queen of Ouch. Yes.
Yep.
That was just...
That looked very painful.
I didn't even need to say anything there, because that was just like drive by, little laser in the face, and that's pretty much it. They're gonna go for that tier 1 tower. There's not even a cliff available, and easy going.
That happened so quickly. That death of the Queen of Pain. MSI trying to make something happen in the mid lane. They can't even defend top. No matter how much they want to defend it, they can't do it. They're just going to get ripped to shreds, so instead they're going to try and find something elsewhere. Raven in the mid lane trying to push a T2 tower, but it's just a Luna and Ice Blast.
It's the same picture when they try to push, because it's Ice Blast and a Rocket Flare, and if that comes out, the creeps don't exist anymore, you get a lot of damage, and if there's an initiation, talk about initiation here, oh, Jesus Christ, this one actually worked out. Kang finding Cast here, and casting just easy getting something. There is a Winter's Curse coming out, but it did nothing, absolutely nada. Now the anti-mage, well, there's the Manta, that was the shortest Orchid of his life, and he's still protected by the Aegis, which means they can just chip away on this tower. And to be honest, I don't see how they can stop this here at the moment. There's also Ice Blast flying in. It's gonna be on the Queen of Pain, just slowing it all down. They're gonna get the Meteorax and then probably get out, but there's a vacuum without a wall or anything, so this also doesn't really work. 1, 2, 3, they got what they wanted, and now they're all heading back. It's very systematic, very disciplined game by them.
This discipline is killing MSI. MSI cannot do anything. I think MSI is just so far behind it. No matter what they do, they're just gonna get outplayed, out-itemed, out-fought. Everything. Unless they go for a 5-man smoke gank and maybe catch one person on their own. Not Ben, because Ben is pretty much unkillable at this point. I don't even think MSI has enough to keep Ben in place for long enough to kill him. Honestly. Maybe Yamate would be the easiest of the farmed heroes to get, because yes, you can get a Clockwork too, but he's pretty tanky and he has 4 stuff, so he's not going to be an easy target. But Raven, yeah,
this is
it
just
used to be a Luna.
Yeah, I mean, level 3
like
Laguna
Fur
played
Coat
with Arcanum Scepter, it's just not fun to deal with, because you just don't have the HP to survive it, especially if Kang is also mixing in that pot with the entire thing. Hookshot on you, just some damage, maybe some chip damage before, and the Laguna played is... The Lina doesn't even bother at this point to go for anything else. He had the critical, guaranteed critical hit by the Shadow Plate, and that already puts you on like, what, 90%, 80% HP, and the rest is really just collateral and Laguna Plate. It's amazing how fast and precisely they go for these kills, and yeah, no Luna, easy push.
Tried to go for DJ, but DJ knew something was happening. He just blinked into the trees and teamed me down. For this game though, Yamate, he could open a Lion's Rug shop and he'd have a lot of stock. Best way to put it. Can't tell you how many times I've seen him just Laguna the Luna to nothing. So
28
MSI,
minutes.
what's
Roshan.
their hope?
Hmm?
What is MSI's hope? 5-man Echo? There's a blink on the Earthshaker, but I think 1, 2, 3 is still too tanky. There's not enough damage for MSI to even bring down any decent hero.
It's looking really grim. I mean, they're 15k behind in net worth. The items, itemization, just the how stats heavy or, well, stats lacking they are at the moment. You see it, like, just drive-by shootings are needed with the Laguna Plate here at the moment. I think the only way of MSI winning this in a decent manner is 1, 2, 3 disconnecting or Ice Rock patching them in 20k of gold.
Wow. It's a bit harsh, but I guess it's realistic.
No, actually, no. There's of course no. There's always throw potential. You should never underestimate like some overextending in the tier 4 towers if a team is too confident about the win. So there is still the chance that MSI makes it for a decent fight. If Kalina, for example, and Yamate is not a perfect player. He's a great player, but he's also not free of mistakes like any other human being. And we saw him today already making mistakes. If he goes for those, then it might actually get interesting. Getting the Luna, I mean, by now I think that Lina, getting the Lina is probably worth, I don't know, 1.5k just for the kill bonus on the godlike tree. But we have to see about that.
It'll be more. I have a feeling it's a lot more than that, maybe 1.8k. Because look at the net worth of these heroes. And where do you see the Luna?
Did she die in between, or did she actually have... No, wait.
She's never died.
She never died, so she actually
kills.
carries this from the minute 1. Never mind this. So, yeah, I guess she's gonna be 1.92k gold bonus right now. That's quite something.
The question is she gonna die though? I don't think Yamate's gonna die. He's been
Well,
very good
HP
with his
wise,
positioning.
she's not heavy. So don't mistake a lot of damage for her tankiness. 1.4k, that's something you definitely can bring down, but if you focus on her, then the rest of the team will just rip you apart. Talking about it, ripping apart. Oh, this is so good, this Ice Blast. They have to pretty much go back to the fountain with this one already. The illusions also of the anti-mage just working on the Winter Wyvern here. At this point, it's really gonna be a problem. We also have soon the Arcanum Scepter done. In 150 gold, Arcanum Scepter is done on the Ancient Apparition, and then you don't even get rid of this curse. So once the Ice Blast hit, you pretty much are doomed for ages to stay in your fountain, because the supports, they go from a level 2 Ice Blast just on 50%, just like that.
So we have a lovely item pickup for the Rubik. He has a Blink Dagger, so now 3-4-3 can be his own sort of initiation if he wants to. And if he needs to get into the middle of the fights, no problem. Just blink in, go for a spell steal. He might steal something really nice. I have a feeling he's just going to wait for something nice like a wall or a Winter's Curse and just wait for a really big steal.
I think we have the game deciding fight here. This is Ben scouting out that smoke, so the smoke is already revealed. Kang, he's going for it. He doesn't fear anything, but there's an Orchid coming out on him. The Ice Blast on all for it. This is absolutely amazing. Look at the kills just raining along, and everybody's just calling good game. Queen of Pain is just shouting at them, but no one is absolutely not the slightest bit impressed. They call the game. Unfortunately, we do not see what Yamate was really worth it if you kill him, but that was way beyond 2k. Very nice. I mean, this was literally two of them wrecking the entire team of MSI. It was good that they kept fighting. It was good that they, I know, tried this smoke. Maybe they catch them in Roshan. You never know, with a nice vacuum wall on the high ground, something like that. It could have happened, and it would have been a nice comeback. But yeah, it was close to a miracle that this actually happened. So guys, with that being said, we go into game number 3, since 1-2-3 just came back here, and MSI, they have to go for game number 3.